Working on a track recently, I decided to just see what this Audimee thing is about. So for those of you who aren't aware, what Audimee is you can take either one of your own mixes or a recording of your own voice and put it into this online generator, and you can either change your voice to mimic that of another person's voice, or you can clone your own voice and drop a track into the generator and it gives you an output. So yes, it's a AI generator. Just some interesting things that I kind of observed just from listening to the two outputs that I did just to give it a test was, I think, and this is not what I know, this is my personal opinion. The thing that I notice immediately is there are aspects of the recording that still sound like you.
What is this thing called the American dream? It can mean so many things.
What is this thing called the American dream? It can mean so many things. Oh, so many things.
I mean, you can recognize it fairly quickly. It de-accentuates some of the characteristics of your voice that maybe are displeasing to you. And I think for most people, when they're recording their own music or they hear themselves on tape for the first time, it's just that automatic cringe effect, like, ooh, I don't sound like that. Ooh, that just sounds horrible. And the mechanics of how the recorded voice versus how you interpret your own sound through your own two ears, just speaking, go far beyond the scope of what the point of this video is. But in short, there are ways of going into the DAW and tweaking certain things like EQ, compression, yes, even reverb to make your voice more closely resemble how you hear it between your own two ears. And I'm giving a very, very, very overly simplified explanation of it. So here's some things that I'm noticing about the Audimee thing is mainly it kind of de-accentuates some of the characteristics of your voice that maybe are less pleasing to your ear, but different aspects of the performance are still going to shine through, if that makes any sense. There's a lot of stuff that you can do in a DAW that you can do without having to do something like Audimee. And I'm far from being the best vocalist. I'm just going to be honest. I'm far from it. One thing that I do is, like, if I'm serious about recording a track, and I'm sorry, the clacking you hear is the cat enjoying some food, but if I'm serious about recording a song, I'll go ahead and take a single track of me playing with an acoustic, just to get the timing within range of what I'm looking for. Second, I'll get a bare bones track set up to where everything's in time. Everything is, how shall I say, kind of set up to where all you need is a fresh vocal. But otherwise, the backing track is set up. You've got your drums, you got your bass, you got your initial vocal take within the ballpark of what you're looking for. I mean, obviously it won't be perfect. And from there, I'll do like a work tape 2.0. And I'll give myself some time to listen to that and just get used to it and just let's go, hey, so are there timing things I need to fix? Are there aspects about the performance I need to address? Am I happy with, let's say, the intro? Am I happy with the outro? Am I happy with transitions? Can I add some fills here and there? what can I do to make this track even just 1% better without blowing up the time that I initially planned on putting into the track? Is there any way I can put 1% improvement into this track without having to blow up my budget in order to make it better? These are things that I ask myself whenever I'm working on a track. Really, one of the main things about the voice is just a steady voice. Try to refrain as much as possible from adding vibrato to your voice when you're speaking through the microphone. I know it's easier said than done. That's the best way to get a good, clean, dry vocal take. There's this thing called comping, and it's where you take 6 different takes of the same vocal, and you just do it over and over and over and over again. And then you listen to all your different takes, and you take the best sections of each performance, each take that you make. You combine it into one, and that's your vocal take. And are you going to have to use a little bit of pitch correction? Possibly. Yes. It's possible that you're going to need to, just for the sake of, how shall I say here, giving it that finished sound. And I know that there's a lot of given towards pitch correction, and rightfully so. That very annoying, gaudy sound effect that a few certain artists had in the early 2000s was just really, really annoying. Pitch correction, when used properly, you shouldn't notice it. It should sound natural, and what it should do is help for your vocal to sit into the mix better. You're taking a analog input and you're trying to combine it with a digital input, and you gotta have a way of marrying the two and making the two fit together. Yeah, my personal opinion about Audimee is just go through the process of making a work tape, because I don't think that a lot of people use it for shortcut purposes or as a complete replacement, because I think that a lot of people use it mainly because either they don't like the sound of their own voice, or because they've gotten feedback in the past that was not favorable about their own performance. So, that would be my suggestion, is just get into the DAW and get used to hearing your own voice, because as a source of probably some of the most hard to distinguish critique and feedback. And I could go on and on with different examples. People with voices that just realistically, they're not that great, but they're iconic. Bob Dylan or, Mick Jagger. Really, Mick Jagger doesn't have that great of a voice, but he's iconic. The Rolling Stones are just amazing. Axl Rose, we could debate it. Don't be afraid of trying to use your own voice. You've got to get to a point where you can listen to your voice in it, not grate on your own nerves, and actually one of the great things about doing that is there's things about your own voice that grate on your own nerves. It brings that stuff to your attention, and those are things that you work on in order to improve your own presentation. Recording yourself in general is honestly one of the best things that you can do. It just helps your overall presentation. It helps your overall way of relating to people. If there's something about looking at yourself on a video or listening to yourself on a recording that just kind of grates on your nerves, that's a hard thing to deal with, but it's a reflection of not only of who you are, but it kind of reflects something in you. And it's healthy to deal with that stuff. It's healthy to address those things, so don't be afraid of dealing with those things. Approach it head on and work on it. So what would I suggest anybody use Audimee or something like that to just completely replace their voice? No, God gave you a voice. Use it. Put some work to it daily. Hope that this encourages somebody out there and kind of helps somebody out there. It's a little bit beyond the scope of what I was going to talk about here, but don't be afraid of your own voice or how it sounds on a recording or how you look on a recording. Address those things. Those things actually help you. That uncomfortable feeling. If you can get past that uncomfortable feeling of looking at yourself on a recording or listening to the sound of your own voice on a recording, you don't know how much that unlocks. It's amazing stuff. We'll leave it right there for tonight. I hope you got something out of this video. Smash that like button. If you got anything out of it, hit subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.